There be light and there was light. So we have been exploring these 8 entries. Now this is really delicious because it wasn't really intended to be like this. What we have done is really check here. For instance, oh, it's not on this board. Okay, what we have done is see how many gods we had with the C letter for their first, as their first letter, for instance. So we had the called God, the created God, and the caused God. So there were 3 gods as such. And we have done this as each section all, and we found out that we have 8 entries as such. Basically, we have 3 S's, 3 C's, 2 B's, 2 M's, and so on. We move on to this, and it's really beautiful in establishing not only that they come in these 8 entries, but they also start with numbers from 3 to 9. Basically 3 to 9, we are talking about 6 numbers here. And this is Mother Eve really showing up here, because Mother Eve is the set God. Mother Eve is number 6 here. Of course, Mother Eve is number 5 as the snake when she's on the ground crawling on her belly, because we are then children crawling as well, learning how to familiarize ourselves ground to the ground roots of whatever it is that where we're at. We are children, babies. But Mother Eve has now also taught us how to eat of the fruit, where the serpent goes up the spinal cord and activate the third eye. So these are things we have been learning here, and all these coincide beautifully with Mother Eve's contracts of the gods, the 14 gods. The 14 gods, of course, because they collaborate with each other, that means that we can see how they marry or they work in sections of as 9 gods. Also, we are also able to see through the first letters how they also connect with each other. So they are not stringent in their attributes. We could say they have their strengths, but they also interrelate with the other gods. And we could see that even in the symbols, or how the style of the symbols or their titles here. So now let's talk about the E-God, which is of course the ended God. The ended God clearly is Mother Eve, beginning and end. This is what we learn from the template. Mother Eve is beginning and end. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and so on. We see the word beginning equals 9. Of course, 9 is that which births out newness as well. So where there is beginning, there is end. And that's Mother Eve. So this is where we have the 369, 369, 369. These meaning blocks of cycles that we function through those blocks, and that's where Mother Eve has given us the language or demarcation of what end would mean, so we can have that or understand where that marking is of a new cycle. So as I'm saying, for instance, where we birth something, we know that in the middle of birthing something, which is 9, numbers from 1 to 9 as we have here, but in the middle of it also consists of its end. It has its end in it, because end, the word end equals 5. This is where we are in a new state, and it is very pinnacle here in this position, because this is where Mother Eve ate of the fruit, ended. As long as that thing has reached the mouth and you have started to, or you have shut the mouth or closed the mouth or even opened the mouth, there is a demarcation of beginning and end right there, and that's Mother Eve. So that's what ended really means. Now the word ended, which has the numerical value of 5, for instance, oh yes, a 5, E, so ended, let's have ended, E-N-D-E-D, hope you can see this. So ended equals 5. Okay, this is 5, 5, 4, 5, and 4. Okay, 3 5s 15, 19, 23. So 2 plus 3, of course, which coincides like the waters. So this is where we see Mother Eve is the waters, Mother Eve is the beginning and the end. It's like water. You can't really separate one from the other. Water is water. Okay, and of course, to show you as well, like in the word water, W-A-T-E-R, is also the word ate, where Mother Eve ate of the fruit, or the word eat, or the word tea, as we love in Britain. So we can see that these are like eternal. Okay, so we are looking at E. E equals 5. Okay, 5. And here on this channel, you will see, by going through these presentations with me, you will understand that the numbers are interrelated. Just as if our nose had a relationship with our mouth because it's on our face, or the eye, there are certain connections because it's like having your synaptic nerves. So there are relationships. The body is not separate of itself, or any part of the body for that matter. Everything is interrelated, and that's how the numbers are. But what it is, though, when we learn their functions, we can say, okay, have some kind of understanding. We breathe through our nostrils because we have a point of reference for that. And that's what the whole purpose of learning the attributes of the gods. So 5 here, F-I-V-E, of course, I can't sort of resist the temptation to say 5 means Christ. 5 means Christ, like in the word Jesus Christ here, which is 2, 1, 9, 9, 8, 3. And add this together. So this is 20. This is 9, 29, 32. 32 is the Christ spirit. Now, I have been reading my numbers on here, which you can't see the 2 right now, as 23. But I think I really ought to be looking at it as 32. But I go with how sometimes I don't see things like most people do. But 23, 32, they are mirrors of each other. And this is what Mother Eve and Christ and the teachings, which is what I have seen and established so far, are really one and the same. We need to understand. If we understand Mother Eve's teaching, then that would give us, I think I could say, a better perspective of Christ's teaching, which was parable. And that would be perhaps why Christ spoke in parables, that we could now make the connection with him, because we don't know, for instance, what the error that was Christ was teaching in. Perhaps it was really, well, of course, it was male dominating, in the sense I would think that in the synagogue, women were not really meant to speak in the church. Perhaps it was a rabbi, not a female. So the rabbi was and now the head of the church, or the head of or like Christ would say, and is on par with the head of. It's as if the head of the church would be the one who is in connection with God, and then the head of the church would be responsible for the female children and so on those who were seen as less well, in a hierarchical or godly way, or they were students and teachers or learners, or however we want to term it. But Christ, of course, now this is what we learn. The Christ, when we learn of Mother Eve and eating of the fruit, we understand that this is about the Kundalini. This is 5. This is where Christians really tell you when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. Of course, you are a new creature. Here is the word NEW right here, of course, and this who is the new creature? Men, MEN, right here. I am not distinguishing like men because we men are still men. It's we men. So we are all men here, or woman, whichever how we want to term it. And when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. You are 5. You have eaten of the fruit. The fruit is that which has the eternal wisdom, the 8. It is the infinite goodness of that which gets you to have your third eye to be lighted up. Oh, there is a reflection on my forehead as well. Oh, wow. Okay, like Mother Eve. But really is that you will be enlightened. That's what it's about. So being in Christ is, of course, you acknowledge you are number 6. Number 6 is Genesis. It's that you are of that Genesis. You are that's why it said it's the number of man, but it's also because men were of 6 different women. We are the result of that experiment of 6 different women. That's why it is the number of man. So there we are. In this section here, we are in the mouth section, and the mouth also it equals 5. But when we do the numerical value for the word mouth, which is 5, it equals 6. So let's do this, and we see Christ. The Kundalini is 5, pineal gland is 5, pyramid is 5, lock is 5, key is 5, key is 5, let's see, life is 5, breathe is 5. Okay, so we can see, get a flavor of 5 right here. 5, 4, 9, 6. So 9 and 9, 18, 19, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. And there we have the same series that we have done. So when we do 6, again, this is what we have done. Mother Eve also have showed up in all of these as 6. And I'm going to watch these as well. So what has been consistent is 6 and 8, or 6, 7, 8 has been consistent here. So there we are with 6, 9, 1. Adding this together gives us 7. Now 7, of course, so we have 5, 6, 7 right here. So 5, 6, 7, this is flow right here. And 7, having the numerical value for the word 7, which has Mother Eve in it. Of course, let's have a prominent thing for the serpent here. Mother Eve, the serpent. So we have 1. Of course, Mother Eve is 14, representing the 14 gods here. So it's 5, 4, 5, 5, 10, 20. So here we have 20. So so far we had 5, 6, 7, and we are doing the numerical value for the word 20. 20, which is 2. W-E-N-T-Y. Of course, is 2, 5, 5, 5, 2, 7. Adding this together, this is 15, 17, 19, 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. And that's what we have been finding, that we have this So it's 20 and 8. So it's 5, 6, 7, 2, 8. I'm just getting this feeling to add this up and see. So this is 10, 23, 28. 28 takes us to 10, which is the numerical value of Mother Eve's first spell when she says let there be, which when added together is 10. We can see how Mother Eve is very active in this place here. So, and this is 10. So 5 really has a connection with 10 right here. Okay, and as E, and of course another thing that we see as E with 5, which is E. E has this attribute like M, where it turns itself like an M and like a E and like a 3 and like a W, and it forms an 8-petal flower. So it is very dynamic. That's Mother Eve, which is now saying to us at this stage, saying to us, let us make man in our image after our likeness. And it's amazing really that the last entry now is 7, which is coinciding with the 7th cycle that Mother Eve has asked us to do. Of course, when you watch this, you can see, and this series here that I've just done, which on the 7th one is very consistent. We will see that it carries and bears the message that Mother Eve is always asking, let us make man in our image after our likeness. That is consistent throughout the 8 contracts Mother Eve has. So we have now done this, settled on this E for which has the 5 vibration. And do join me when I do the next presentation, which is going to be on P, the final one, which is P. P with the 7, of course, the serpent right there. Thank you. Let there be light, and there was light. If you like this presentation, please click the like button and share. Okay, and yes, I hope you found this delicious like I have. Let there be light, and there was light. Oh, has it stopped? Okay.